That's right, Lando, US Grand Prix, you're seen as one of the stars of Netflix. What is it for you like when you're here? Because, you know, the amount of like Lando fans there seems to be in America seems to be low. So when you actually come here on a human level, what is that experience like?
It's awesome, actually. Because people, when they shout your name, I mean, they shout your name, but they don't just go, hey, Lando, you know. They're like shouting across the street, and I feel a bit embarrassed sometimes, but it's just all awesome. Like, the atmosphere's cool, it's a good vibe to it all. It's exciting, it's just good fun. So yeah, I really enjoy it, and especially considering, you know, when I came in 2019, so before Netflix in a way, to where it is now, like it just feels like a much bigger event. So happy to be part of it all.
Do you think has it helped you kind of open up a bit? I know when you came in, a lot of younger guys are a bit quieter, maybe a bit more reserved, but you seem to have opened up a lot, you know, in the last couple of years. Do you think that experience has helped? Has it almost forced you to be a bit more kind of engaging? And it's not that you weren't before, but it just forces you to be a bit more kind of open with...
A little bit. I think a lot of that naturally just comes with being in Formula One for a longer time, just feeling more relaxed, more at home. But of course, just being in front of a camera more, you know, and having more fans, and realizing the opportunity you have with fans, you know, to put on a good show for them, and do your own merch and the helmets and things like that, and just have a good time with them. So, and also the influence I can have on them, you know, in things I say, or like charity events, like the influence you can have to get them on board with you is also something that's grown a lot, and something I'm realizing that has more potential to use my voice and to say more things and so on. So it takes time. Like, I'm not great in front of crowds and in front of people, and it's kind of a similar thing. So it just took me a bit of time.
So I think people would be surprised to hear that, because you do come across like you're a lot better now, a lot more confident in there. And I think people assume when they see an athlete, they think, oh, they must just be great at talking to people, but they don't think they're going to be nervous or whatever. Or
no, I was the opposite. Yeah. Especially 2019, like I struggled to speak in front of so many people. I still struggle, like even when I'm back at McLaren and there's like everyone around me, and I'm just like the only guy speaking, like I get really nervous on those types of things. My only comfort zone is literally inside a car, or just probably sitting at my desk at home. So everything else, you know, is abnormal for me. It's something that I'm not comfortable. Like, some drivers are really good with it, and you know, like Daniel's amazing at it. He can just speak and shout and do whatever he wants. But
must be a little bit annoying when he's that good, and you're like, come on, dude, like
that's just him. It's not annoying, I think, just because it's the difference in people. You know, I don't. At times, I wish I had more confidence in doing such a thing, but everyone's different. Like, I'm me. I'm the quiet guy in some ways. We have good laughs, but I'm not the guy that shouts a lot and causes hopefully too much chaos. So.
How's it been working with Daniel? It's obviously coming to an end this year. You've had 2 years together. What's that been like?
It's been an honor. It's been a lot of fun. One of the funniest guys, and also nicest guys. I would say, in the paddock. I've not met everyone, but I'll be biased in saying that. And I've still been able to learn a hell of a lot from Daniel. His approach to racing, his mentality with it all, through the tough times, you know, how he keeps so strong with it all and has so much belief in himself. That's something I struggled a lot with when I came into Formula One, and something I've been able to learn a lot from him then over the past couple of years. But even on the driving side, you know, how he drives the car in many ways. Like, you can see those instances of what's made him so good. Yeah. And I guess I try to take them on board. It's not an easy thing to do, but the more I've been able to learn from him, the better I've become, and that's only a good thing for me.
It's just weird, because there seems to be a perception online that somehow you two don't get on, and that there's some rivalry, which I've seen. And when you see you two together, you can tell you genuinely do. You know, and I know when you're different ages, and maybe when you were first teammates, you know, there's a gelling process. Why do you think that exists? And is it frustrating because there's so much on social media now? You see something like that, you know, isn't true.
I mean, it's so easy nowadays for like one word to be turned into a headline, and then people like literally silly and stupid enough just to believe one word and they don't actually read any of the story. You know, you get those kind of people, and they just want to believe what they see instantly. But then I think there are two main reasons. You got the reason of me and Carlos worked very well together. Everyone knew how great we worked together in our little bromance. And then it was just a fresh start, you know, working with someone different, and people kind of grew up seeing me and Carlos work together and saw me in that personality. So then all of a sudden changing to someone different, someone who's been in Formula One for so many more years, someone who's kind of the top dog coming from a big team, who's won several races, there's always going to be that little bit of a feeling like this is my chance to beat him, and this is a chance for him to prove himself. And people then want to create a story off of that. We are quite different people, and just because of what's happened on track and some of his struggles, like people just want to cause more of these stories and create just stupid stories. But they don't see us, like they see maybe what they see briefly on TV, but they don't see us in the paddock and behind the closed doors and at McLaren together. Like we have so many good laughs, too many sometimes, and we love being teammates. I think personally I do. I've loved being his teammate, learning from him, spending time with him. But yeah, people are just too easy to judge nowadays. Like it's something that's ruining the world in many ways. But yeah, things are great. I've loved working with him. I'll miss him next year, but I'm sure I'll race against him again in the future.
Seems like you've always had a bit of a love-hate relationship with social media and just Gen Z.
Literally.
It's like Gen Z. Obviously, social media has become more and more important. I mean, where at the moment do you stand with that? Do you think it's overwhelmingly a good thing or a bad thing? Social media, it's difficult to always see. It's
difficult. Like, I think it's still a great thing.
Yeah.
Just because it's I have such a I have a good presence on it, and I have a great following, a great amount of fans. So using them and speaking to them in the right way is only a good thing. That I can create change and spread awareness for different things, and the mental health side, like spreading my word on that's only been a good thing. Personally, then like the stress it causes me personally is, I guess, one of the bad things. And just you get to the point where you're scrolling through it and you see some bad comments, all this stuff, and like one bad comment ruins a lot of things. But in the end of the day, like I got to a point where I really don't care what I care about so many things, and I care what people do say, but I just don't care when it's someone who just wants to have a little jab and tries to get a little bit of glory and wants to say something stupid and silly. So it does hurt me sometimes, but I've learned to deal with that and see the good things and use it for a good thing. And I'm occasionally back on Twitter every now and then. I'll re-download it and have a little scroll and tweet sometimes. But I still see it as a good thing rather than a bad thing. I just wish people were not so judgmental and cared a little bit more about other people in the world.